What's going on, YouTube? Uberman here. So I had a car accident yesterday. It wasn't a major deal or anything, but it definitely shook me up and definitely made me rethink a few things. And I threw a little video together that I'll toss in here in just a minute. With basically, it's just a video of the damages to the car that I had just purchased. So basically, the short version is I decided to go buy baby mama a car. She needs her own ride. It'll make things easier on us. Um, less driving that I have to do, and just make life a lot easier. So after looking around for about a week, I found a great deal on a 2000 Mazda Protege. I've had a few of these cars, and they are great little cars. Good on gas, they're reliable, very low maintenance, and fairly decent looking vehicles as well, in my opinion. Well, I drove down to Norman and I looked at it. I took it on a test drive, and it had a small drivability issue. It's a stick shift. I haven't driven a stick shift in forever, so part of it was probably the fact that I was relearning how to drive a standard, and but the other part is it just had a little bit of a jerk to it, as in first gear, like rrr, 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 rrr. But once I got into second, third, fourth gear, reverse, everything, it didn't do it. Well, the check engine light was on. I popped the hood, and it's very common. There's a air intake hose that goes between the mass airflow sensor and the intake manifold, and what happened is the intake hose split. The problem with that is that it's now sucking air in before the mass airflow sensor. So the mass airflow sensor is not getting a correct reading. It's a big split. So there's a lot of air bypassing the mass airflow sensor, which causes the engine not to be able to properly determine the amount of fuel that it needs to dispense into the cylinders. More than likely, that's the whole problem with it. Other than that, drives great. It's not a big deal. It's going to be an easy fix. It's had good maintenance. Timing belt was replaced about 20,000 miles ago. Along with the water pump, it's had regular oil changes. It's a one-owner car. I've got a Carfax showing that it's a one-owner. Definitely not the prettiest car, but it's a well-maintained, reliable little car. I got a good price on it, and very happy with it. Well, so I paid for the car, and I let baby mama follow me. I drive the stick shift because she has even less experience than I do. Don't get me wrong, I know how to drive a stick shift. It's just been a long time. But she doesn't have very much experience with it. So I let her drive my car. So this on-ramp in Norman is on Lindsay Street. And it's an on-ramp that has... Okay, trying to think of the best way to describe this. So obviously an on-ramp, you merge onto the interstate. And obviously you have to yield to traffic on the interstate. Well, this on-ramp is basically two ramps that merge into one. Well, I had right of way in this case, and the traffic that ended up running into me did not have the right of way. They actually had the yield sign. Baby mama, I didn't even see the accident. To be honest with you, I didn't even know what happened. I was driving, and I make it a habit to look over my shoulder when I'm merging, even when I have the right of way and there's other traffic that merges into my lane. I still have this habit of looking over my shoulder and making sure that somebody's not trying to run into me. I looked, I saw nobody. According to baby mama, she was in tears. Quite honestly, I wasn't until about 30 or 40 minutes after it all happened, and I was sitting there and I kept replaying it over and over in my head. It did make me very emotional. I kept seeing that semi coming at me, and all I know is that 1 second I was just minding my business, getting ready to merge onto the highway. I hadn't made it onto the interstate yet, and next thing I know, I lose control of the car. I felt like something hit me, but I didn't see anything. I didn't see anybody hit me, and then next thing I know, I'm spinning, and then I jarred really, really hard. I mean, it threw everything in the car all over the place. Everything in the car was disorganized. It happened so fast, I didn't even understand what was going on. All I knew is that in a split second, I look up, and I'm on the wrong side of the interstate, facing oncoming traffic, and it's like your worst nightmare. this is rush hour, guys. This is 5:30 in the evening. Speed limit 70 miles an hour. I don't know. I don't know. You know, all I know is I was backwards, facing the wrong direction on an interstate with a lot of traffic going really fast, and the last thing that I thought I was ever going to see was this giant green semi just coming right at me. And I panicked, you know, I mean, it's a stick shift. I figured that the car died, obviously. You know, it was in gear. I figured it died, but I guess somewhere in all the jarring around, I got dropped into neutral. You know, I'm trying to start the car, but the car's already running, and I see the semi coming, and it's just hear the starter grinding, and I throw it in reverse. I'm trying to back up and get out of the semi's way, but the car doesn't want to move. It's got a broken control arm. Both front tires are blown, you know, and I don't know. I really thought at that point that it was over. You know, I really thought that was it. And you know, he stopped. The semi stopped. I was able to get the car a little more out of the way of traffic, and I got out. Baby mama was sitting on the other side of the road. There was so much traffic she couldn't come over to help me. There was nothing she could do. Oh no, man! It was pretty scary, and I was very sore, very sore. It took a couple hours, but I started feeling pretty sore. My shoulder, my neck. I had this headache that just wouldn't stop, and quite honestly, I've still got it. I took 4 Advil or 4 Excedrin or 4 ibuprofen and 4 Tylenol extra strength yesterday. I've still got the headache, guys. In fact, I'm still somewhat disoriented. That's the main reason I didn't go out and Uber last night, is I was having a hard time driving. And I took baby mama to work a little while ago, and I mean, I didn't hit my head or anything. I don't really know. I don't know. But I take this highway every day. Every day I take her to work. And as I'm coming back home, I couldn't figure out where I was. I mean, it was the strangest thing in the world. I've driven this same highway my entire life. And I get off of the highway by her work, and I'm coming onto the highway that takes me right back home, which is from 240 back to 35 South. And as I'm getting off of the 240 ramp and merging onto the 35 ramp, guys, for about 30 or 40 seconds as I'm on this ramp, I had to look around. I had no idea where I was. I was looking at the highway signs. I was looking at the exit number. I had no idea where I was at. And then it just came back to me. I was like, shit, I know where I am. I don't know what the hell's going on. Like I said, I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a violent wreck, but the car, there's not much damage to the car. Basically, the truck hit me, pit maneuvered me, I spun out, jumped over a big-ass curbed median, and landed in oncoming traffic. Other than that, I didn't hit my head. Nothing hit me. I don't know. It's confusing. But anyway, guys, the guy that hit me had no license. He had no insurance. It was a 1970 Chevy pickup. Pretty big, sturdy truck to be running into a little Mazda Protege. I mean, it's not like he T-boned me, okay? He merged into me. I was actually in the right. He was in the left. And baby mama says, I know I didn't get to that part, I apologize, but baby mama says that I was in the clear. He had the yield sign, but on top of that, he wasn't even there. When I looked, like I said, he wasn't there. She said he was on that ramp, and she said he just came flying, like he smashed the gas, was trying to get ahead of me. I never saw him. And he came onto that ramp, and as I'm driving straight, he just merged into me, into my back door. And I mean, I know hands are a horrible example. This is my car. This is his truck. I'm going straight. He's merging. So he came at an angle and clipped that back door. And when he clipped the back door, it spun my car, which caused me to jump the median, where I proceeded to spin and land on the other side of the highway. But I never saw him. I never saw it coming. I never saw it happen. And it just makes you think, you know, I'm a great driver, self-proclaimed. But I really am a great driver. I don't have accidents. I'm very cautious. And it's just like that doesn't matter, because there's some jackass out there that can end it all for you in a second. That's what really occurred to me yesterday is if I had just landed a little bit further out into that interstate, I would have been run over by everybody. If that semi hadn't been able to stop when he did, he would have plowed right over me. In an instant, your life can be taken away from you, though no fault of your own. You know, here today, gone tomorrow, 1 second to the next, you're not guaranteed. You're not guaranteed, guys. There is no guarantee in life other than taxes and death. And it's a scary thought. Anyway, this video has turned out to be a little long, so I'll go ahead and throw the damages of the car on there so you guys can see them. And I just thought I'd throw this out there for you guys. And also I'd like to thank my Facebook group, Uberman Driver Network. I'll put a link right here, Uberman Driver Network. It actually won't be a link. They won't let me link it, but just it's in the description. And it'll be down there, so you can at least go to Facebook and type it in if you're interested. But I'd like to thank my Twitter people and Facebook people and YouTube people. I appreciate you guys. I really do. Everybody was concerned and offered condolences. And, I mean, you know, it's okay. I'm fine. It was just me in the car. I'm okay. But thank you. Thank you, everybody, for caring enough to at least make a comment and say, hey, are you okay? I appreciate it. Okay guys, so here's the video of the car. I'm going to go ahead and do a voiceover on this instead of giving the original audio with it. Primarily because I intend to trim this video down some and it just wouldn't sound right with the original audio getting cut with it. So here's the back end where I got hit by the pickup truck where he merged into me here. None of this was here. A lot of people probably don't think this looks that bad. But I really don't want baby mama driving around in a car with a big crunch in it. Yeah, there you go. That's a dent. I think that's what I'm pointing out there. Okay, moving on. So here we come around to the front of the car. As you can see here, the wheel is way off from center, as I'm going to point out here. The wheel should be centered right there where my finger is, but as you can see, it is bent way back into the fender well over there. That is from a severely twisted lower control arm on the driver's side from a high-speed impact with a curb, which was the median that I jumped over. As you can see here, the rim is severely bent, and the tire is obviously blown, so that'll have to be replaced. Not a bad-looking car, though, guys. That dent in the back is just killing me, though. I just can't get over that. It had all of its hubcaps before the incident as well. Tags are up to date for an entire year. I mean, really good little car. All the hubcaps look just like that one. I mean, as you can see from the passenger's front wheel here, it looks centered. That's the way the driver's side should look. I'm pretty certain that the control arm on this side is in good, usable condition. I don't think I will have to replace that. But the tire is blown, and there's a very good possibility the rim is probably bent on the inside. You just can't see it from this angle. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see when it comes time to tear it all apart, which will probably be tomorrow, Friday. Still, it's not a bad-looking car. I mean, no, it's not the greatest thing in the world. It's not the nicest car in the world. But, you know, for somebody who doesn't have a vehicle at all, I think it's a very decent start. It's a fairly clean-looking vehicle. I just don't know if I can get over that big dent in the back. She seems to think it's okay, but I don't know. I don't really want her riding around in it with a big old crunch in the back end. Moving on now, let's go to the interior of the car real quick, and then we will cut this off here. Again, not the most beautiful thing in the world. It's just a basic car, but it does have cold air conditioning and hot heat. It's had a lot of maintenance done. The interior is pretty clean. Could definitely use a detail, you know, a steam cleaning or something like that. But again, for what I paid for, it's a great little car other than that giant dent. So we're going to move back over to the outro of the video here. As always, guys, well, it's not the end of the video, but like, comment, subscribe, and Uber on. Now it's the end of the video. Bye-bye.